Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3 teases a replacement for White Tiger in the MCU, perhaps more than one. As seen in the new episode of the brand new MCU series, Hector Ayala was put on trial for the alleged murder of a police officer, with Matt Murdock representing the vigilante in a bid to prove his innocence. However, the events of the trial also come with some key teases for future Marvel characters who end up taking Hector's mantle on the page. In the episodes of Daredevil, Born Again thus far, Matt Murdock remains committed to not becoming Daredevil again following Foggy Nelson's murder, though he hasn't stopped trying to help New York in other ways. This includes defending Hector Ayala aka White Tiger. However, more current characters bearing the White Tiger mantle in the comics are teased during Hector's trial, suggesting Ava Ayala may make her MCU debut sooner rather than later following Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3's tragic ending. Here's Ava Ayala's comics history explained, as well as Angela Del Toro's, who could arguably become the MCU's next White Tiger as well. Daredevil, Born Again teased Hector Ayala's sister Ava. Hector had been living with his sister and niece. The first time Matt Murdock has Hector take the stand, he asks Ayala what he was doing the night he got into a fight with two undercover cops who were roughing up one of their confidential informants. Hector responds that he was getting a new studio apartment ready for him and his wife to move into, as they'd been living with his sister and niece for some time. As such, the reference to Hector's sister is a big deal, as Ava Ayala has been the better-known White Tiger in recent years. In the comics, Hector Ayala's White Tiger was similarly arrested for a murder he didn't commit. Despite having been represented by Matt Murdock, Hector was convicted rather than the jury ruling in his favor as seen in the MCU. As a result, the comics Hector was shot and killed while trying to escape custody just before evidence came to light proving his innocence, mirroring the MCU where White Tiger was shot the night his freedom was secured at the end of Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3. While tragic, Hector's death saw a new White Tiger inheriting his mystical amulet, and it looks like the same could be true for the MCU as well. Ava Ayala's Marvel Comics history as White Tiger explained. Inherited the amulet from the second White Tiger. The White Tiger Ava Ayala on the cover of a comic book. Eventually coming to inherit the mystical amulet bearing the powers and strength of an ancient tiger god, Ava Ayala became a new White Tiger in the Marvel Universe. Initially joining the Avengers Academy as one of its first full-time students, Ava eventually joined the mighty Avengers led by Luke Cage with a roster that also included Spider-Man. Over time, Ava became an impressive hero in her own right, though she did experience a period where her desire for revenge on those who killed her parents saw her becoming possessed by the tiger god that gave Ayala her powers. Beyond the comics, Ava Ayala is best known for her role as one of the leading characters in Disney Channel's popular Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. In the cartoon, Ava's White Tiger joined Spider-Man, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage as a team of high school-age teens receiving training from S.H.I.E.L.D. Also in this continuity, Hector Ayala was Ava's father who passed on his amulet to her before he was killed by Kraven the Hunter. Will Ava Ayala become White Tiger in the MCU after Hector's death? It's certainly possible. Marvel's White Tiger. Now that the original White Tiger has similarly been murdered in the MCU, it's certainly possible that Ava Ayala was referenced in Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3 ahead of a full MCU debut in future episodes or seasons. It's not hard to imagine her taking on her brother's mantle to continue his mission. Likewise, it wouldn't be surprising if she attempted to use the amulet and mask to seek revenge on those who killed her brother. While there has not been any word about a new White Tiger or an official casting for Ava Ayala, a popular fan cast has long been Jenna Ortega as White Tiger. That said, a debut from Ava Ayala with a big casting would likely happen in Daredevil, Born Again Season 2 or beyond, if it's even happening at all. Likewise, just because Ava Ayala is arguably the most popular recognizable White Tiger doesn't mean that the MCU has to go straight to her. After all, there was White Tiger between Hector and Ava, Angela Del Toro. Daredevil, Born Again also teased another potential White Tiger replacement. Angela Del Toro might make more sense for the MCU. Angela Del Toro's White Tiger posing from the Marvel Comics. In the comics, Ava Ayala becomes a new White Tiger after her brother, though she's actually the third White Tiger after Angela Del Toro, who inherited the mystical amulets from Hector first. On the page, Angela's White Tiger was given the amulet and even received some training from Daredevil himself, as well as Black Widow. However, Angela was ultimately corrupted by the ninja clan known as the Hand, at which point her amulet made its way into Ava's possession as the third White Tiger. The family connections and ties of the Ayala family haven't been specifically laid out in the MCU. However, the fact that Hector and his wife were living with his sister and niece suggests that Ava has a daughter, rather than it being Angela Del Toro. That being said, it wouldn't be hard to imagine a scenario where Angela Del Toro simply becomes Angela Ayala in the MCU, remaining Hector's niece but becoming Ava's daughter for the sake of narrative simplicity. A younger White Tiger in the MCU does have some exciting potential. Perhaps she could be trained by a reluctant Matt Murdock in the future while also being a possible recruit for the MCU's Young Avengers team that's in the works. Likewise, Jenna Ortega could arguably be just as good of a fit for Angela as she would for Ava. At any rate, it's exciting to see that Daredevil, Born Again has already laid the seeds for a new White Tiger, even amid tragically losing the original in the MCU.